Hi, this is Fairooz Habeeb. I'm the president for FITIS Software Chatte, and I'm the project chairman for Digital Excellence Conclave and Awards. I'm going to discuss about the customer experience platform for the, especially on the omni-channel experience today, and especially the expectation and how do we do these assessments and how we are going to help this transformation journey for the organization. Let me quickly give you the brief context, the context for this event, where the FITIS Digital Excellence Award and Conclave, we came up with the theme of the migration of enterprise from Industry 3.0 to 4.0, ultimately to become a digitally transformed Sri Lanka. For this purpose, we have developed a framework called FITIS Digital Excellence Framework. This framework consists of four major dimensions, which is digitized customer experience, digitized product and services, digitized organization, and the operation. I'm going to discuss about the digitized customer experience today, especially on the omnichannel experience point of view. For us to come up with this the digital maturity assessment framework, which there are various stakeholders has been part of this initiative, to come up with this FITIS maturity assessment framework to evaluate how the organizations are currently performing of each of these competencies that we have specified here, and the skill set which is determined where is your customer experience program falls across the maturity stage. It's not only that, this will give you the review information provided by the judges and the panel out here to evaluate your current maturity of digital transformation maturity state, as well as provide you the plan, roadmap, where you can come up with your development plan for making the progress towards your customer experience goal for any organization which they would like to go for. Now, if I go into detail, this framework, we have defined the expectations of each segments out here. Let me quickly take you through this digitized customer experience, where what is digital customer experience or the customer experience? Customer experience is about your customer perceptions on how you treat your customers, and these perceptions affect their behavior, and it builds the memories and feelings to drive the loyalty among your customers and your brand around your brand. So organizations, they don't become a customer-centric over the night. Any company, they can improve the portion of this customer experience, but only these, they can achieve the goal, or they can only achieve certain benefits or the transformational achievements by going beyond the superficial changes that will be able to create a long-lasting differentiation. And then doing that, how they can increase the loyalty, through that only they should be able to go towards that the differentiation with compared to their peers. Now, what we expect from this digitized customer experience, where this is the strategy towards the experience to maximize the customer satisfaction, and how do you gain the lifetime revenue from the customers? And how do you define your digital interaction between the customer, and how do you create the culture and the strategy with the right technologies to embrace the customer-centric view of business to improve the digital customer experience? So the digital customer experience platform that you are going to build that to prioritize all these businesses become a digital business in order to participate in the digital economy. Doing this, you're creating experience to the customer life cycle itself by focusing on sales, marketing, and customer services, and loyalty management, and also the engagement functions and so on. So as a leader of an organization, you see the potential value of the values being this build this customer experience. So therefore you can investigate on this how this customer experience can be it can help your organization to kick your activities to isolate in the isolations of pockets where your customer experience activities can be built around that. How we do that? You got to build that strategy of building the digital future state of your customer experience, where you should be able to get every employee who is dedicated to their set of activities to deliver the customer experience vision. And then you should be able to systematically follow up with the customers to fix the problem that that you uncover from the insight that you gain from the customer data. And then you make an ongoing effort or improvements to operationalize those processes based on the experience and the insight that you have gained from the customer data. Then how do you build that digital platform experience where you can infuse your customer experience insight into a key operational processes and through the system itself? By doing that, you can uncover the opportunities and transformative customer experience with the data that you have with your customers to bring in that best-in-class efficiencies. And you can, by doing that, you can apply the human-centric design approach to improve the customer experience, and you can ensure the customer experience are delivered consistently with across the organization. Let's look at the expectation in terms of omnichannel experience. Now, on this omnichannel experience, we typically know that you got to have the 24/7 seamless consumer engagement process that utilizes all the touch points of your within your organizations, where the consumer can have the engagement with the satisfaction. So here, the seamless consumer engagement process, which you're talking about, that will utilize the multiple customer touch points, which combines the experience data that we're talking about. It can be from social media, it can be a support ticket, it can be a sales ticket, it can be a customer request, which is coming through the several channels and all that, where you can bring in that operational data to generate the actionable insight about the customer as well as what they expect to be delivered. Now, we need to capture these appropriate signals which is coming out from the targeted customers, and then you got to time it accordingly. What time that you should pop up those messages, and what is the engagement time that you should be having it with the customer. By analyzing the customer experience and operational data, you can prioritize those actions, which is you are planning to do it with the customer. Now, by doing that, you can tailor the insight to stakeholders, and that makes it easy for them to create that customer value-centric thinking. Now, what is this customer value-centric thinking that we are talking about? This customer value-centric thinking is generally not pioneered by the large established companies. On the other hand, it was mainly adopted by the incumbent or by the challengers or the tech startups, right? If you look at some examples, that by 2021, the Alibaba had become one of the world's largest company by making, the capitalization with more than $1 billion of business in wide range of sectors. They moved into retailing, e-commerce, online, cloud services, and mobile phones, and logistics, payments, and contents, and so on. So one of the main successful pillar that they were able to make it was the managing the product information and the content flow to a different engagement platform, right? Where they were able to organize the content flow in the where they should be able to bring in the ability to stand ahead of their competition, and then they quickly create the content and page on the new areas where they can do the campaigns and promote and targeted audience to achieve their goals, or to reach out to the customer before others goes in whatever the promotions, and how they respond to it based on the customer demands, right? And they have adopted those contents and technologies into their platform. Now, let's look at on this, what is the strategy towards this omnichannel experience that we usually take. During this assessment process, we are going to look at how the organization is systematically use the insight to identify and improve the customer experience, and how they invest in their the engagement journey with the customer to create those workforce in alignment with the customer experience platform. And they also should be able to deeply integrate with the customer experience and their HR processes, where they can reinforce a good customer experience behavior in all the employees. So these customer experience skills should be deeply rooted into across the organization, and also they should be able to rapidly adopt continuously learning, and they should be able to propagate and investigate and adopting to the need of that expectation in all relevant stakeholders. It can be internal to the organization, external to the organizations, and various stakeholders. So how the organization's ability to use that digital technologies to bring in that outcome-based model, or to bring that digital ecosystem into the organization, and the ability to measure the customer feedback metrics, for example, stakeholders, satisfactions, and then what are the key drivers, etc. So the team performance, they should be able to assess the performances and based on the key metrics, and they should be able to do the rewards and recognize, and they have the team who is part of this customer experience journey. They should be able to have some celebration for the achievement that they made. So these and some of the other goals like monitoring the performance and ROI modeling, and then how they demonstrate the churn reduction and account growth and additional purchase and renewals, etc. So then through this, they track the customer satisfaction at every interaction along with the customer journey. So that apart from that, there are a few more things that how they undertake the detailed analysis of customer feedback from customer. With your business objectives, and to keep the vision, and how do you align your vision to execute those things. So it's not just having the technology and up-to-date document, and you can have all sort of information systems and all that, but end of the day, it has to align with your strategy. And you should be able to create the documented customer persona about that everyone, that persona where everyone in the organization should be able to, should have access to those metrics or the persona. Let's look at the evaluation levels or the award levels. We call it award levels. Here, first level, of course, we talk about merit certificate, where the enterprise is the expectation of this merit certificate, where the enterprise is actively automating internal processes such as selling, marketing, and support, and having CRM, having ERP, and all other base platforms. This is more of automation, or is called the digitalization process than the transformation process. Now, but it provides the digitized foundation necessary for the future transformation, such as they have all sort of website, application, media, and email, and SMS, and WhatsApp, and all sort of medias are aligned to go for a future transformation, which is required, the foundation required to go for a future transformation, where they should be able to bring in that automation process that should enable them to profile and track the performance and the success of all the effort which has been put in by the organization. Now, In this merit category that we are looking at the organization's ability to use digital technologies on an outcome-based model, or they should have the digital ecosystem in place where they should have the e-business model, they should have the business model transformation and new technologically enabled product adjacencies, and having enterprise-wide formal strategy to drive towards strategy to drive this initiative from the top. And they should have the signs and the plans are in place for the leaders to personally demonstrate the transformational behavior. So by doing that, they should have the structure in place for leaders to translate their business goals into transformational strategies. Whereas the seamless consumer engagement process that utilize multiple customer touch points, and they should be able to combine the customer experience data like social media, support tickets, etc., into generate that actionable insight. And they should be able to capture the appropriate signals from targeted consumers and then time it accordingly, appropriately. And they should be able to analyze customer experience data and operational data to prioritize the actions and distribute the insight of that data they have gathered, the information. They should be able to distribute among stakeholders to make it easy for them to take the actions. And then you should be able to do this customer insight and strategy execution capabilities. So, but if you don't have a digitally disruptive product, and if you don't have a customer relationship, I mean that holistic view of customer relationship for the operational capabilities, then we try to recognize you under the merit category. Second category, of course, the silver category, where silver level. So first level, second level is a silver, where the organization, they should have the individual functions or business. They start to use the disruptive technologies, and they should have the new business models such as selling directly to the consumers using adoption of mobile apps, website and web service and community surveys, and the organizations not setting an adequate tracking for their customer journey. But by having all those things, but still, if they are almost impossible to measure the ROI, so that means you're still your efforts are still at silo. There is no overall strategy to drive towards the digital transformation. So these are the this category. By having that, there are certain other aspects having considered or the evaluated, where as the leader identified and committed to a personal the transformation journey, and as the leader has the view of the change with the few initiatives to drive the momentum towards this transformation journey. And whether have you looked at the transformation possibilities like transformational technologies, transformational processes, transformational ecosystems to identify the disruptive digital possibilities, etc. One other aspect that we are looking at, have you ever used the nonlinear ideation process such as design thinking and creating big ideas sort of thing? So, and what are you doing in terms of digitization process? So these are the part of should be part of your organization where you should be experimenting a transformational business model and production. This you can scale your automation into from stage 1 to stage 2, rather that you bring in just showcase the disruptive technology or the digital technology, but you show the scale from your having digital technology to the automation. How do you bring in that automation? And then still, if you don't have an enterprise-wide strategy to complete transformation of your business model, then you will be considered under the silver category. Third category, which talk about bronze category, where the organizational leadership has to recognize the disruptive power of digital technology, and they have the defined linear progression with unique customer experience for the digital future states. For example, if the organization has stated setting up adequate tracking of their customer journeys and decision points and perspectives and customer journeys, such as an email clicks, page browse, and their purchase histories, and even if the second and third party data partnership for customer progression that they have progressed on this journey, how the enterprise has not completed the completely transforming into digital backbone, right? So that stage, by having all those characteristics, still they have not completely transformed to become a digital backbone. I mean, the ecosystem is still not don't have a digital backbone or the new business model, or they don't have any agile, innovative culture to become sustainable. So we treat them, or we try to put them into the bronze category, where they don't have a real-time information available online, or the customer value-centric portions. They have this. They are making the real-time information available online. Sorry about it. And then the customer value-centric, like the retailing, e-commerce, and online cloud service, mobile phones, and that mobile access, and then they can give this the automation of logistics and payments, and all sort of things are coming into the picture, and you have this new operational reality, and especially more digital touch points that you generate the cross-functional collaboration to drive this transformation. But still, you have the mix of old and the new business models, correct? Which you have the processes and products which are following the corporate strategy. Then those categories will be treated under the bronze category. The last one, of course, the last category what we're talking about is the gold category, gold level. We are talking about the organization has the technical blueprint, and they have the schematic visualization of fully synchronized system in place, where they make the point where the enterprise-wide digital platform is available, and they have a new business model has taken into the roots of the organization, and however, they are still kind of a one-time technology or the business model, and they are almost away from being disrupted. There is no agile, innovative cultures and all that are going in the integral part of their enterprises. But they have fully explored the creation of open ecosystems to generate large number of innovative use cases, and internally and externally. So even they have explored their application where they can open up their data via APIs to the selected developers outside the organization, where they can build their core system on top of that. So those, along with that, we also have expectation of how do you deliver the industry leading customer results and the innovative digital products, and how do you bring in the best-in-class operational efficiency by enabling or establishing new customer-centric operational capabilities like collaborative and purpose-driven mindset within the organizations, and how do you bring in that core capacity and capability gaps to be analyzed, and then how do you plan and execute disciplines and leveraging the technology for your best efforts and so on. And beyond that, this level we are looking at assessing from the gold level perspective. Beyond that, how you are scaling the dynamics in the digital first go-to-market model, and how you manage the product information content flow in a different engagement platforms, and how do you bring in that customer experience for the digital future state. Okay, so this is all about that we are looking at from the digital platform. You got to have the platform for each and every steps that you are looking at. It can be business value, and can be all sort of delivery platform and technical platform and all that. You have a platform approach in place. But building this sort of technology, or it should be, I mean, it should be for the all mean, like it should not be just limited to the top of the pyramid, where your front end is digitized, or your luxury part of the organization, you bring in that differentiation within the organization. It's not, it has to, bring in the transformation across the organization. You have to focus on the UI experience, and also building start building like a Lego pieces, and where you build on top of that. And there has to be simplified methodologies, and there's this kind of the digital layer should be a very thin layer. You don't have the agility to build that small thin layer, and you can't build like a dinosaur and then find it difficult to make any changes, but build gradually on top of with sort of a linear route for this transformation, where it cannot be a very high cost and very low margin. It has to be other way around, right? So those are the expectations when it comes to all sort of assessment criteria, and there are self-assessment models that we have introduced here with the subtopic of 12 subtopics from vision and value, tools and processes, and there are questions being asked. So once you submit your application, we will send a form. We will send an online survey form, which would help you rate your organization transformation maturity by yourself. Based on your answer to those questions, we will put yourself into the particular bucket where which level that you are going to be assessed. Now, you got to provide evidences as much as possible, because unless you provide the evidence for the answers, the justification that you give answer to each questions, it is not fair for us to just recognize, because this evaluation, end of the day, you will have a half-an-hour presentation session, including Q&A and all that. It's not easy or possible to assess the maturity of the organization within that particular short time frame. So the easiest way, or the best practical way, where we run this quiz or the survey offline, I mean before the event, so that you also understand what all are the questions that we should be ready, and come up with the evidences, and then you should be able to not just earn but secure your position during this presentation, to secure your position, whatever answers that you provide through the survey. This way, you will get your maturity assessment done by a panel of experts from FITIS, and you also been recognized for your transformational achievement that you made throughout this journey. Thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you on this Conclave Awards. Thank you.